good, Commanders fans? Happy Friday night. Hope everybody has a good weekend. A big game against the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle. We know it's going to be a hostile environment. They call themselves the 12 man, so it's going to be a tough game. Geno Smith has not been playing his best football, but you got DK, you got Tyler Lockett, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Kenneth Walker. They got a lot of weapons. So, of course, before we get into this, I want to start with the injury report. Of course, we're gonna get that out the way now. Curtis Samuel, that's the biggest name really on the injury report, and I'm not going to talk about Chase Young and what he said. About he's in a room full of winners. What he said is the truth, that he's in a room full of winners. But I'm not going to get into it too much. I know a lot of people made a couple videos about it and stated their opinions. So let it be what it is. I wish him the best in San Fran. I think he's going to have a good career in San Fran. He plays us on New Year's Day. Actually, no, New Year's Eve. Coming back to D.C., we play against the 49ers. So that should be a fun game. Should be a fun game. Playing against Chase Young again. Playing against Chase Young for the first time. Definitely should be an interesting game. His homecoming back. To the DMV. All right, Curtis Samuel. He's listed as questionable for the game on Sunday. That's the last thing that I saw. He was limited with a toe injury. Emmanuel Forbes, Achilles, full participant. This is Thursday's injury report. I haven't been able to find the injury report for today that came out. The Seahawks have a gluttony of guys on the injury report. They have a long list of guys on the injury report. Guard Anthony Bradford, knee, did not participate on Thursday. We'll see if he plays. Now the Seahawks have a lot of offensive line injuries. I want to say they have Jason Peters on the practice squad, 40-year-old Jason Peters. That's how banged up they are with their offensive line. Linebacker Jordan Brooks did not participate with a hamstring injury. Mario Edwards rest. He rested with veteran rest. Did not participate on Thursday. DK Metcalf with a hip injury did not participate on. He's going to play. Charles Cross limited. He's going to play. DJ Dallas limited. He's going to play. Kobe Parks is going to play. Jamal Adams is going to play. So they just basically put a lot of guys on the injury list. But all these guys, like Jackson Smith and Jigba's on the list. Kenneth Walker's on the list. They were all full participants, so they're going to play. Simple as that. They're going to play. All right. Let's get into keys to victory here. And before we do that, I want to give a quick shout out to Prize Picks. Make sure you guys use my promo code 100%. You get a 100% deposit match up to $100 using promo code RealEdOliver. Click on the link down below in the description. We've hit, if you tell the plays, we've hit the last 3 or 4 weeks that I've done them. We got it against the Giants with Terry McLaurin getting over on receptions, Darren Waller getting over receiving yards. Basically, the trick is just to go take any wide receiver one that we play against, take the over on the receptions. A.J. Brown hit pretty darn easily. Terry pushed at 5 receptions against the Eagles. That's because he dropped back-to-back passes. But this one, I'm going to go with 3.5 receptions for Logan Thomas. I think we should definitely target him a lot this game. And Sam Howell likes to spread the wealth. He gets Pringle involved. He gets Diami involved sometimes. Crowder's been involved in the mix. If Curtis Samuel comes back, of course, he's going to get receptions. Terry usually gets his 5 receptions. It's like clockwork, him getting 5 receptions. Jahan Dotson is starting to get some. He's starting to catch the football now, so he's starting to get receptions. But I think Logan Thomas is the guy to look at. The Seahawks have given up big receptions to tight ends that they played. Mark Andrews went over his reception total. And they also played, I want to see who they played against. They played against another team where they gave up a lot of receptions to tight ends. So I'm definitely going to take the over on Logan Thomas on his tight ends. I want to say it was David Njoku. I'm looking at it right now. And it was, David Njoku had 4 receptions. Logan Thomas, all he's got to do is get 4 receptions, and he hits the over. Then I'm going to take Tyler Lockett. Over 59.5 receiving yards. We give up big yards to receivers. I really hope it doesn't happen, but I think they're actually going to do a good job against DK Metcalf. I don't think we're going to stop DK Metcalf, but I think one guy that's going to get big yardage probably is Tyler. It's between him and Jackson Smith and Jigba. We struggle against quick receivers and speedy receivers. If Jalen Reagor catches the football, we struggle against wide receiver ones. We struggle against all receivers. It doesn't really matter who, whether it's A.J. Brown, whether it's Drake London, whether it's DJ Moore, Marvin Mims, you name it, all these guys. Jalen Hyatt with the Giants. Doesn't really matter, man. Guys have put up big numbers. Darren Waller, even though he's just a tight end. Guys have put up big numbers. Devontae Smith, we struggle against him as well. guys that put up big numbers against the Commanders. So I'm definitely going to take the over on Tyler Lockett with 59.5 receiving yards. I think he will get 60 receiving yards. I think it's going to be a pretty high-scoring game. And when they played against the Bengals, when the Seahawks played against the Bengals, they gave where is it at? Jamar Chase had 6 catches for 80 yards. But yeah, basically the Seahawks they give up a lot of receptions to tight ends like David Njoku, Mark Andrews. Those guys had really good receiving games for the last 2 weeks against the against the Seahawks. So that's why I'm going Logan Thomas over 3.5 receptions. All right. So keys to victory. I'm going to make this really simple and really, very quick. Now, you look at the matchups, the key matchups, of course, Terry McLaurin versus Devin Witherspoon. Tyreek Woolen has struggled this year, so I think that they should definitely target him and go after him. They definitely have some really, of course, they have Jamal Adams, a good safety, really good in the box, really good blitzing. He's done really well against us in the past. Devin Witherspoon, I already talked about him. Bobby Wagner, of course, a legendary linebacker for sure. And who's the other corner out there? Yeah, Reek Woolen. He just hasn't had a good season. Trey Brown is solid as well. They have a solid defense, and they traded for Leonard Williams, which is a good pickup for them. Stopping the run, even though they struggle stopping the run against the Ravens. Now they got their butts kicked against the Ravens, and I was surprised they lost 37-3. But recently, Geno has not been playing well, man. He's been turning the football over. The last 4 games, he's thrown an interception. He's had 2 interceptions one game, 2 interceptions in another game, and then 1 interception. He's been fumbling the ball as well, so he's really been turnover prone, which is not like Geno Smith, the Geno Smith of last year. He's playing like the Geno Smith, when he first came into the league. Recently, he's not playing his best football right now. 9 touchdowns, 7 picks for Geno Smith on the year. Boye Mafe is a good pass rusher as well. So they got talent on the defensive side of the ball. They've just been really, really bad on third downs. They're 21st in passing yards allowed, so you can throw the football on them, but they have corners that definitely will take advantage of bad throws and bad reads, and they will pick you off. Same thing with Devin Witherspoon and other guys. They take advantage of creating turnovers for sure. All right, so keys to victory for me. And then, like I said, the Seahawks offensive line, they've had 6 starting lineups in 8 games. So they've had a lot of injuries and a lot of moving parts and musical chairs in that offensive line. All right, so let's get interior pressure on Geno Smith. I don't think their interior offensive lineman can stop John Allen, not Jerron Allen, but John Allen, Daron Payne. We have to get pressure up the middle. We have to get pressure on Geno. The Ravens were able to get good pressure on Geno Smith. They rattled him. He turned over the football. They made plays, and they got stops. We got to be able to do that. We have to contain big plays, but it starts with getting pressure. We have to manufacture pressure. We don't have, the sexy first-round picks on the edge anymore. KJ Henry, James Smith-Williams now, Casey Toohill. Jack Del Rio loves that these guys, they play within the scheme. They don't do their own thing. They don't freelance. That's what he wants them to do. And we have to manufacture pressure. So it's going to be blitzing, different coverage blitzes. We have to manufacture pressure on Geno Smith for sure. And then, like I said, the Seahawks offensive line has struggled this year. They've been up and down for sure. All right. Do not put Emmanuel Forbes on DK Metcalf. Don't do that. I would not do that at all. I'd rather have Ben St. Juste or Kendall Fuller, one of the two. We cannot let that happen again where DK Metcalf, he can play like A.J. Brown. He has a similar build. He's faster than A.J. Brown with 4.3 straight line speed. A.J. Brown is a better route runner, but just the physicality where, he can big boy Emmanuel Forbes. He can just box him out, basically big body him out the way, kind of like A.J. Brown has in the past against Emmanuel Forbes. So I would not put Emmanuel Forbes in DK Metcalf. That's one thing I'm asking Jack Del Rio not to do. I know Emmanuel Forbes had a good game against the Patriots, but DK Metcalf, he's just a different animal than Demario Douglas and Juju Smith-Schuster and Jalen Reagor dropping passes left and right and Tyquan Thornton, guys like that. So, yes, Emmanuel Forbes had a good game, but let's ease him back into the lineup. Remember, he was benched for 2 games. Let's ease him back into the lineup. Let's not just throw him out there on the red zone one-on-one against DK Metcalf. So that's a big thing on Jack Del Rio. What is he going to do? Is he going to try to do an Eagle thing and put Emmanuel Forbes back out there when the Seahawks are on the 5-yard line? They throw a jump ball to DK Metcalf. Next thing you know, he gets a touchdown. I'm looking at Jack Del Rio. I'm like, what are you doing? You got to know your personnel and matchups. Force a turnover. Like I said, Geno Smith has 7 interceptions on the year. He's fumbled a couple of times this year. The last 4 games, he's thrown at least an interception. So we got to catch the football. Emmanuel Forbes dropped an interception last week. Jartavius Martin did a great job catching the football. Mac Jones, we knew he was going to give us chances. You just got to take advantage of the opportunity. Good teams take advantage of the opportunity. You drop the interception. Next thing you know, the offense takes advantage of that. They get another chance, and they get a touchdown. Or they get a field goal. We cannot allow them to have second chance. We have to take advantage of those opportunities and catch the interceptions. The Seahawks are one of the worst third down conversion teams. Their offense thrives on big plays. If they can't convert on third downs, they're usually scoring on big plays. That's their bread and butter, is making explosive plays to Jackson Smith and Jigba, Kenneth Walker having big runs, DK Metcalf having big catches, Tyler Lockett making big plays. So we have to make them play the long game. We can be a bend don't break kind of defense if we just can hold them in the red zone, get stops. They've struggled in the red zone sometimes where they get sacked because they're just giving up pressure. So we cannot let them have big plays. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, those guys can hurt us. Same thing with Jackson Smith and Jigba. And the other guy, Bobo, is the wide receiver, Jake Bobo. Watch out for him too. Zach Charbonnet too. He can make plays too. They have some really good running backs. Kenneth Walker, cannot let that run game going. We gave up a big play to Ramondre Stevenson. Cannot let that happen again. So all simple keys to victory. Let's move over to the offensive side of the ball. If we limit big plays, make them play the long game, get pressure on Geno Smith, catch interceptions, I think we should be fine. They're going to make plays. It is what it is. They just have the talent, but they're going to make plays on our defense, and we always give up at least one or two big plays. I just have questions for Eric Bieniemy. These are kind of my keys. Are we going to establish a run game? I thought we did a good job against the Patriots where B-Rob had a couple good runs. Same thing with Antonio Gibson. Are we going to establish a run game? Now, this is a game where I don't blame him if his game plan is to get the ball out quickly and kind of use the passing game as an extension of the run game. Did that with the Patriots, but he had more balance, and I like that a lot. So I would like to see some more balance. But in like the Eagles game, there was no balance at all. But we were just hurting them so much throwing the football. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Keep throwing the football. So maybe one of those games where, hey, you might have to give Sam 40, 45 attempts if it's working. I think we can throw the football on this team. I think we're going to have success throwing the football like we did last week. Sam's had a really good run here. Dan Orlovsky gave him props. Jason Kelsey's giving him props now. He's running the ball well. Let him run. I want to see some design runs this game too. I love the 3rd and 23 run. That was not a design run, but he's making plays with his legs for sure. I think the national media is starting to take attention in a good way on Sam Howell. Of course, get the ball to Terry McLaurin often and early. I don't think Devin Witherspoon can check him. I don't think anybody can check Terry McLaurin. Get him the ball early and often. Get the ball to Jahan Dotson. Get the ball to your talented guys. Same thing with Logan Thomas, but they have to catch the football. Jahan Dotson would have dropped last week. De'Ami Brown would have dropped last week in the end zone. We have to catch the football. That's a simple one. Seattle, the 30th of third down defense. We have to keep converting on third downs. I thought we did a good job the past 2 weeks. The game against the Patriots, Sam did a really good job on third down where he was making plays, making something shake, making something happen. He's going to have to extend plays again. I don't want him to hold onto the ball too long, but if he has to do Houdini things and find Byron Pringle on the other side of the field, I don't mind it. Now, you have to be a little bit more conservative and careful because, like I said, guys like Devin Witherspoon, they have corners that will take the ball away from you for sure. Where does it catch the football? Target Tyreek Woolen. He's had a down year so far. I think that's one guy that we can certainly get after. Antonio Gibson as well. Get him the football. Get him the ball in space. Use him as a receiver. Use him in the screen game again. He's done a great job of that. No penalties. Be ready for the crowd noise. No false starts. No holding penalties. None of that. We have to have, Sam Howell's got to step up as a leader. The silent snap count. He has to step up as a leader. The offensive line, they all have to be on the same page. It's going to be a loud, hostile environment. So just be ready for that. Special teams, Joey Sly. Who else? Jamison Crowder doing a good job not muffing punts, doing a good job returning punts. Who else? Cameron Cheeseman, he's been doing a good job snapping the football as well. Knock on wood, he's done a good job so far. And then my biggest key of always, Ron Rivera, clock management, challenges, decision making, going for two, going for it on fourth down. Should it be aggressive or not? Of course, it depends on the flow of the game. But of course, touchdowns and not field goals are going to win this game. You're going to have to put up points. I think this is going to be a high scoring game. I really do. I just want to think about. I always think about the game plan. Whether you don't want to be premeditated on whether you want to go for it on fourth down or not, or be aggressive. You kind of want to go with the flow of the game. But this game, I don't mind him going for the fourth down. I'm going to say that. Now, I don't mind him being conservative either. If Sam has a crazy run and it's 3rd and 12 and he runs for 11 yards, it's like, oh, should we go for it 4th and 1 and we're on the Seattle's 47-yard line? I would go for it, honestly. I would go for it. And that's just momentum. It's just showing confidence in your offense and just, rewarding Sam for playing hard, and making that play. Because against the Bears, Sam did the same thing, but Ron decided to kick a field goal. So, or if you're on their 32-yard line, you're in field goal range, but you could go for it and possibly get the touchdown because your offense is playing good football. So those are the things to me. 2-point conversions. Could it possibly go to overtime where it's 30-29, and then we decide to go for 2 to win the game and we don't get it? Or will people be mad at Ron because, like the Eagles game, where he doesn't go for 2 at the end of the game, and we go to overtime and we lose? So that's going to be huge. And then throwing the challenge flag, not being slow as molasses. If DK Metcalf, let's say for example, he drops the football and they hurry up and try to run a hurry up offense and move on, and we didn't challenge it, and they keep going and they eventually score a touchdown, just like the Eagles did. So those are my biggest concerns this game with Ron Rivera. And let's get to the end of the game. I hate to cop out on this. I really think this game's going to come down to the referees. I think we're going to get screwed some way, somehow. Like I brought up, I think it's going to be a no catch by DK Metcalf, but they call it a catch. Or they're going to say Terry McLaurin's foot is out of bounds or something like that. Something crazy is going to happen. No, we cannot turn over the ball. We can't fumble the ball. Antonio Gibson has to be strong with the football as well, because I think he's going to get a lot of touches again. But I think it's going to be something weird and wonky, kind of like the Giants game where we got hosed at the end of the game, where they pass interference and held us. They didn't call it against Curtis Samuel. So I hate to put that bad stuff in the air. Definitely want to spray some sage around about that. But I just got a weird feeling, especially just being in Seattle. But I got us losing this game, refs regardless. I got us losing this game, but it's going to be really, really close. I got to be at 28-24, 28-25, 30-27, something like that. It's going to come down to the end, to the wire. Maybe 30-27, where we got to get in field goal range, but we just can't convert. Or 30-24, where we got to score a touchdown and win, but we just can't convert on the last play of the game. And I'm not going to say interception, but it's just going to be like 4th and 8. We just can't convert. It's going to be something like that, 30-24. But I do have us beating the Giants. I do have us beating the Giants with a third-string quarterback. Even though we struggle so much against the Giants, I wouldn't be surprised if we lost next week. But I do have us beating the Giants for sure. And yes, we are in the playoffs. Playoffs. You talking about playoffs? We are in the playoff race. Yes, we are. We are in the thick of it. I hate to say it, but we are. We just are. The NFC is not good this year. The Vikings are at the top of the list. They're the 7th seed or something like that. Josh Dobbs is their quarterback at this point. And Josh Dobbs is not bad. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a good backup. He's a darn good backup, but still. So, yes, we have a legitimate shot to make the playoffs. It's going to be tough. Look at the remaining schedule, but let's focus game by game. I have us losing this game, but I have us beating the Giants. All right, you guys. Healthy Commanders, you guys have a great weekend. I'll see you guys on Sunday at 7:30 or probably 7:45. This game might go to overtime. I got a weird feeling about that, too. This game might go to overtime. All right, you guys. Healthy Commanders. Peace.